so don't trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you love it on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Cause I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story, she was different with me.
Today we are in a 1991 NSX. I haven't done a car review in a pretty long time, so shout out to Sean for letting me take his car today. You guys have seen it within videos here and there, and I've gotten a lot of requests to drive it. So shout out to Sean for letting us take it today. I know he doesn't let that many people drive it, so I'm honored that we could take it out today. So a little about the NSX. This is like Honda's supercar. They made a second generation of this car, probably think about like last year, which a lot of us are familiar with. There are not a lot of similarities with this first gen NSX to the new NSX that we find, but some little highlights about this car. It's a mid-engine. It uses VTEC, 3-liter V6 engine, making around 270 horsepower, with the car weighing about 3,000 pounds. Now this current one is a 91, and as the car got older, I think the motors changed a little bit, but for the most part, they make about 270 horsepower. So this one is a right-hand drive. It is from Japan and has 71,000 miles. That's extremely low for being the early 90s. My RX-7 that I bought has about 130,000, and it's newer than this one is, to give a little reference. Now the biggest thing about this car that it's known for is not its power, it's more so its handling ability. This is a manual steering rack, not a power steering rack, so the steering is very, very heavy, especially when you're just getting out of first gear. The steering, you kind of have to like pull it and move it, which it's actually a nice change up. Driving newer cars, and as technology is improving, the steering feels a little bit numb and the steering wheel gets lighter, and it's cool to get back into an original era supercar. Feels more connected to the road. When this car came out, it was considered a supercar, but I've noticed as the car's aged, look at the spider in the steering wheel, and as it's gotten into newer technology, people argue if this is a supercar, and my opinion on this is it's 100% a supercar. The gearbox reminds me of my S2000, super short, super notchy, very direct, feels really good. Now we're not on any back roads today, we're not trying to set track records. I really just wanted to drive this car around the street where Sean primarily drives it on, and it feels so good. It's very comfortable in a weird sense. Now the car has a lot of upgrades that it's literally on the way. Sean has a set of TEs that are soon gonna be on the car. It is on stock wheels right now, but I'm actually enjoying the fact that I get to drive it at its original state. It has 15s on there. That's extremely small, especially in today's age. But surprisingly, it feels really good. It handles on a dime, and like I said, the fact that it's that manual steering rack, it's a feeling you don't get to experience anymore. It's much more raw. I feel more connected to the road. I feel like I can feel every pebble that we roll over, which is pretty good. So this car revs out to about 8,000 RPM, and I think you can push it to closer to 9 with some mods following it, which is amazing. They're known to be reliable. It's a Honda, it uses that VTEC, and it screams. I think we have an aftermarket exhaust on this. Sean, what's the exact exhaust?
It's a Z's EX exhaust.
It's not too loud, and it's not too quiet. So we're at 4,500 RPM in first gear, revving all the way to 8,000. On the exterior, it's loud, and on the interior, it's that perfect balance of like not too droney, but not too quiet. It's that perfect middle tone. Now, a question that I think a lot of you might be having, is it weird driving a right-hand drive? Everything about it is the same. You're just on the other side. The pedals are still the same layout. The gearbox is still the same layout. You're just using your left hand, and you always have a tendency to hug the left side of the road. Pretty odd, but you get used to it pretty quickly. You just kind of have to get over that initial fear of being on the other side of the car. So for a while, if you guys don't know, I was actually looking at purchasing an NSX, and this does not make me feel good about my choice. This car is so nice to drive. Think I can make this U-turn without scraping, or should I back up?
You need to back up.
So notice how I'm winding the wheel before I'm actually moving. That's that manual steering rack. Do you like having it though? You think you'd rather have it be like?
I was actually thinking about upgrading to the electric power steering, but that's it's a grip to get that done. But also, I don't mind the manual steering, to be honest. It gives it that raw feel on the road.
Yeah, I feel like the only annoying part would be like in situations like that, or if you're in traffic and you're trying to do maneuvers or something like that.
Or
but
parallel parking is a pain.
Parallel parking. Imagine being like parallel parking and having traffic waiting on you and you're like fucking sitting there. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think, well, I mean, once you're driving, it feels super light and it's not that bad. And then one thing, I go to use my turn signal and it's the opposite way. So rather than using your left hand to signal, that's actually your wipers. You use your right hand. Other than that, right hand drive is the same thing as left hand drive. So a little fun fact about NSX, which I always thought was pretty funny, is the acronym of NSX stands for New Sports Car Experiment. When this came out, this was Honda's kind of first fully dedicated sports car that was gonna be targeting other supercars at that time. Production on this car was from 1990 to 2006. 2006 models were only in Japan, but I think around 2000 or so is when they switched from the pop-ups to the normal fixed headlights. A common upgrade that you see done in these cars for more power for those who track or just don't get the feeling out of the normal 270 horsepower. A lot of times people do superchargers on these cars, which really wake this car up. It's kind of like the BRZ. It's focused on the raw driving style, and with a little boost, you can make the car a rocket ship. Because like I said, this car only weighs 3,000 pounds. You make around 450 horsepower at 3,000 pounds. That's about what my BRZ's current power plant is at, and you put it on a back road, and you definitely feel like you're in a different car.
It's all about the bumps in your heart.
This is day number 2 in the pool. It's not as warm today, but it's still kind of warm. It's only like 72.
Welcome to Dude Perfect. I call this the GoPro truck. Jake, you're back. Shut your face. I can't stop.
Pool day to girls is sitting by the pool with electronics and phones and music. Oh, we are obviously disturbing them. Let's move on, boys. We're all meeting up for dinner tonight. We are in Seaport Village. It's like a
village by the sea.
It's like a village by the sea port. It's a port by the sea.
I just want one scoop.
Can we go to the ocean? Is there a boat in it? I really hope you wouldn't do that. So I'm reading a lot of the comments for yesterday's video, which is about the truck, and literally like 60% of you, no, 70% of you are all telling me to get the Ford truck. That's not what I wanted. I wanted you guys to tell me to get the Chevy truck. That's not what you guys are doing. And both would be fine, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the trigger here pretty soon, because I read this thing online. If you purchase a truck that is a diesel and it weighs over like 6,500 pounds or something like that, it can be like 100% write-off. So that means like I should just go ahead and do it anyway, because it's just tax money anyway. I just gotta figure out which one I want, which is like the hardest thing to do considering I'm the most indecisive person in the world. As I've been sitting here vlogging, Sabrina thinks it's really funny because lately she's been posting memes about how I'm dating my camera and not her. Are you enjoying yourself?
Well, it's funny because I was sitting right here and then you were on the opposite side of the camera, and then Alicia was taking photos because she's a paparazzi.
This whole entire shot is blocked because you're facing the wrong way. This is my life. My life consists of being
I have to get the fire
puppet.
Instagram photo. No,
a puppet for her
a puppet.
abuse.
A puppet. Sometimes I just want you to look cute and I want you to act like you like me. Now, can you take one of me kissing his cheek?
another car review. I will admit it was a little bit rushed today. We had a pretty tight schedule, so this review probably wasn't as detailed as they once were in the past, but it felt good to be back doing that. It was almost like I almost forgot how to do it. It was weird. I kind of like was walking myself through the ropes once again. But if you enjoyed it, give this video a fat thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm actually getting started on this edit right now, and it's probably gonna take quite a long time, so I'm gonna get ahead to it. But like actually though, if anyone's looking for an X5M, you know where to find me. Man, do I even know how to edit car reviews anymore? We'll find out.
And I'm feeling